Hi everyone, welcome to the last lesson of IELTS Foundation course, which is listening, lesson number 4. And here, like all the 4 lessons, we are going to talk about introduction to listening, band score criteria, listening paths, and things to keep in mind. Now, I'm sure that you have covered the previous 3 lessons and now you have come to lesson number 4, which would make completely sense. When we talk about introduction to listening, listening is kind of considered as the easiest of all by most of the students, but it can be difficult for some of you based on how comfortable you are in assessing the accent or in understanding what kind of words are spoken. So it basically aims to assess your ability to listen to English language. Now, there can be certain pronunciation mistakes that can happen. There can be certain accent catching mistakes that can happen during this listening test. So you have to be very careful of what you hear and you completely write the exact same answer without any spelling mistake. So it is basically of 40 minutes in total, including your transferring answers time. And it has 4 parts in total. The total number of questions here are 40. Now, when we talk about parts of listening, so parts of listening can be seen in 4 sections. Section 1, which is basically about conversation between 2 people. And this is a very short and easy conversation that you can catch, and it basically gives you a little warm up for the section. It is not really difficult as compared to the other parts. So this is just a warm up session for you. When you come to section 2, this is basically a monologue. Monologue is something that a one person speaks. So you will hear one person talking about something. For example, it can be a radio broadcast. It can be anything. This is just an example. So, but only one person is speaking. There is no conversation happening. In section 3, on the other hand, the conversation is happening among 2 to 3 people in an academic context. So, for example, discussing an assignment, discussing a lecture, discussing a research, anything can happen. So, here the conversation is among 2 to 3 people, and you have to identify what has been said by whom and what exactly has been said according to the questions given. In section number 4, which is again a monologue and it is an academic context. So, for example, a lecture is happening. Now, understand, जो भी आपका section 1, 2, 3, 4 है, उसमें conversation है, monologue है, आपको सब कुछ identify करना है based on the questions given. So, अगर conversation है 2 लोगों के बीच में, so question ये भी हो सकता है कि इस person ने आपको क्या information दी इस बारे में. That will come to later on. We'll take an example for this. इसका band score calculator हमारे पास ऐसे है, correct answers and band scores. So for example, you score 6, then you get, for example, you score 23 to 25, then you get the band score 6. So if you check your listening test and you identify that these number of questions, since there are 40 questions in total, you identify there are 40 questions or 34 questions or 22 questions that are correct, you can identify your band score as well accordingly. Let's say you have marked 25 questions and they are correct absolutely with spelling corrections, then you would be getting around 6 band score. So that's how you can calculate your scores, even if you practice it with some material. Now, what are the types of questions that come in listening? They are forms, notes, table, flowcharts, summary completion, short answer questions, sentence completion, labeling a diagram, plan or map, matching, multiple choice. So any kind of question can turn up in listening out of all these. It doesn't have to be the case that all of these questions would come in the same exam. It can be the case that in one exam there is sentence completion, दूसरे exam में forms या notes completion. अब इसमें से कौन सा क्वेश्चन डिफिकल्ट होता है या कौन सा क्वेश्चन इजी होता है वो आपको लेटर स्टेज पे पता चलेगा जब आप एक्चुअली इनको सॉल्व करना स्टार्ट कर देंगे. So you don't need to worry about the difficulties of questions right now. You just have to understand that these are the types of questions that will come in your exam in listening. Let's have a look at the sample. So you can see it's written label the map below. I've taken it from Cambridge. So write the correct letter A to I next to questions 15 to 20. So you can see 15 scarecrow, 16 maze. So according to your audio, where will the answer go? Which part will come in 15? Will it be A? Will it be B? Will it be G? Which part will come according to the audio that you listen to? So this is kind of an example, and the type of question it is, you can see it here, it's mapped. Now, this is just one sample, and this is a sample of only one section. There will be total 4 sections, और 4 sections में से आपका ये map हो सकता है. Not exactly, of course, but ऐसा map आ सकता है. Now, there are certain things that you have to definitely keep in mind. Number one, and I've shared a video also on YouTube. If you want, you can subscribe to our YouTube channel, which is Super10 IELTS. And you can see there what I've shared in 3 simple strategies for listening, wherein I mention it that there are certain things that people struggle with in listening. और कौन कौन सी चीजें होती हैं जिसमें बच्चा स्ट्रगल करता है लिसनिंग में. सो वो स्ट्रैटेजीज हाउ टू ओवरकम देम इज कंप्लीटली मेंशन्ड देयर. अगर आप चाहें तो आप उस वीडियो को देख सकते हैं. अदरवाइज अंडरस्टैंडिंग कि आपको क्या क्या चीजें ध्यान में रखनी है सिर्फ लिसनिंग के लिए. वन इज गेट यूज टू द एक्सेंट. इफ यू आर नॉट यूज टू द एक्सेंट यू विल मिस आउट मैक्सिमम नंबर ऑफ क्वेश्चंस. ऐसा भी हो सकता है कि आपके पास ऑस्ट्रेलियन एक्सेंट हो या ब्रिटिश एक्सेंट आए. यू डोंट नो विच एक्सेंट कैन द ऑडियो बी ऑफ. So please make sure that you are used to all of these accents before you go for the test. अगर आप accent के used to नहीं हो तो आपको समझने में content को बहुत problem आएगी. Next thing is focus just on looking for the answers rather than listening to the entire conversation. Now this has happened to me also. When I started listening test like a few years back, then I was focusing on understanding the entire conversation, which actually helps you improve your listening, but it doesn't help you completely in answering the required questions. So just look for, like you will get the time to look at the questions first before you listen to the audio. आपको 1 या 2 minutes आपके खाली questions पढ़ने के लिए मिलते हैं जिसमें आप समझ सकते हैं कि questions क्या पूछने चाह रहे हैं, और फिर उसके बाद आप उसी क्वेश्चन पे बेस्ड क्या वो आंसर मांग रहा है उसके अकॉर्डिंग आप ऑडियो को सुन सकते हो. एंड दैट्स व्हाई यू जस्ट शुड फोकस ऑन लुकिंग फॉर द आंसर्स रादर देन listening to the entire conversation, because what happens is you get lost completely, and once you're lost then all of your answers get skipped. आपका एक आंसर स्किप हुआ दूसरा भी हो जाएगा, तीसरा भी हो जाएगा, चौथा भी हो जाएगा. सो वो चेन बन जाएगी. एंड जस्ट टू प्रिवेंट दैट मेक श्योर आप क्वेश्चंस पहले केयरफुली रीड करें, उसके बाद अपने रिक्वायर्ड आंसर्स को ही सुने. Identify the type of questions you are making mistakes in rather than just blankly practicing one test after the other. Now, this is really important. I shared this in reading lesson as well, that if you just keep practicing listening test over and over again, you will keep making the same mistakes and you won't be able to identify मेरी कहाँ exactly mistake हो रही है, किस type के question में mistake हो रही है. So that's why it's really important that you absolutely first, yes, attempt the listening test 1 or 2 times in your exam conditions. And then after that, please make sure that you do not just blankly practice test one after the other. You absolutely focus on one type of question that you are making mistakes in. सो वो क्वेश्चन जिसमें बहुत ज्यादा मिस्टेक्स हो रही हैं सबसे पहले वो आपकी प्रायोरिटी बन जाएगा. बिकॉज अगर आप एक क्वेश्चन ऐसा उठा लेते हैं तो आपका बैंक स्कोर बहुत इम्पैक्ट करता है. सो दैट्स व्हाई प्लीज मेक श्योर दैट यू डू नॉट गेट इनटू द लूप of just अटेम्प्टिंग द टेस्ट ओवर एंड ओवर अगेन, right? So I hope you do this and I hope you keep these things in mind so that it helps you cover all the basics, just basics. If your basics are clear, then everything else can also be cleared later on. But if your foundation is not strong, then your other entire building will be shaky. Other than that, if you want to follow more strategies, if you want to understand the mistakes we make in generally speaking listening, you can just follow us on YouTube channel. It goes by the name Super 10 IELTS. I've just mentioned the link here. Also, we are coming up with a new skill building course. You can reach out to us if you want to register for this course. In this course, we will be busting myths related to IELTS that are spread in the market. ऐसे बहुत सारे कंफ्यूजन्स मिसअंडरस्टैंडिंग है मार्केट में जहाँ पे बच्चे को मिसगाइड किया जाता है कि आप इसको फॉलो करो आप इसको फॉलो करो सो वो व्हाट आर दोज मिथ्स स्प्रेडिंग अक्रॉस एंड यू शुड बी अवेयर ऑफ वी विल डिस्कस दैट Second, effective practice methodology of building each skill. For example, listening, reading, speaking, writing. उन skills को आप effectively कैसे develop कर सकते हो over a period of time. That's what we will look at. Individual feedback will be given to you. So आप individually कैसा perform कर रहे हो each skill में आपको वो भी feedback मिल सकता है. प्रैक्टिस रिसोर्सेज भी आपको दिए जाएंगे इसमें so you can just visit our website also if you want to contact us you can call us at 7404054022. Thanks a lot guys for watching this. I hope it helped you at some level and now since you understand the basics if you have any question, you can also reach out to us on WhatsApp number. We'll clarify that for you. But if this is clear to you, then of course now you can reach on to the second stage, which is basically understanding each module of IELTS, only listening, only reading, what are the strategies. And of course, you can reach out to us for all the relevant videos for the same. Thanks a lot. See you again.